Good evening. This is CTV News for this Tuesday, June 18th. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, we are learning more tonight about the soon-to-be familiar faces that will be joining the reconstituted Prince George's School Board. Dr. Beverly Anderson and Dr. Daniel Kaufman are the county executive's appointees. Anderson is an author and scholar with a PhD in educational psychology and a master's in mathematics. She is currently a professor at the University of the District of Columbia, where she also served as provost and vice president of academic affairs. Kaufman has extensive experience working in education and communications. A Fulbright scholar with a PhD in political science, he speaks fluent Spanish and has a daughter in the school system. The council's appointee, Curtis Valentine, also has children enrolled in county schools. Valentine is a former teacher, a current PTA member, and a soccer coach. His experience includes both education, policy, and youth advocacy here in Maryland and abroad. He was recently awarded an International Affairs Fellowship to promote education reform efforts in developing countries and create a national strategy to improve American public education. Under the new law, the county executive appoints 3 members and the council appoints 1. Dr. Segun Eubanks was sworn in earlier this month as the new board chair. Well, we now know the identity of the person whose body was discovered in the median strip of Route 50 yesterday morning in Cheverly. Maryland State Police say just before 10:30 a.m. on Monday, a state highway worker found 34-year-old Kevin Christie of the district dead in a grassy stretch of the highway near Kenilworth Avenue. A preliminary investigation reveals that Christie was riding a motorcycle just before 10 p.m. Sunday night when he lost control, crashed into the guardrail, and was ejected from his bike. Authorities say there were no witnesses to the accident. Left-bound lanes along that stretch of Route 50 were shut down for about 5 hours. Well, 2 Prince George's council members introduced a bill today that aims to increase public safety at area gas stations. Council members Eric Olson and Mel Franklin spoke about the measure this afternoon in Upper Marlboro. The bill is meant to help decrease robberies at the pump and inside convenience stores. Officials tell us how new legislation would help solve a growing public safety issue.
What we want to do is to cut back on the enticement for that, reduce the cash in registers. We also want to encourage and get gas stations to provide more security for security cameras so that when an incident does happen, we're able to really find out who did it, and that'll be more of a deterrent for future crime. Because right now it's seen by criminals as easy money.
If the measure passes, a grace period would be allowed for establishments that need to transition. New businesses would be required to implement the changes right away. Well, if you have summer travel plans and you intend to drive, you may want to factor in a little extra into your budget. Starting next month, drivers in Maryland will have to pay more at the pump. On July 1st, the gas tax will go up nearly 4 cents to more than 27 cents per gallon. The extra revenue will be used to fund transportation projects across the state. We caught up with motorists in Largo and asked them how they feel about the added cost to fill up their tanks.
I don't like it, actually, because I drive a Cadillac, so it costs me almost $60 to fill up my tank, where it used to be, of course, a lot less. So I'm not too happy about it.
If it's for a worthy cause, and if it's for transportation or railroads or bridges, contributing to, the infrastructure of our country, I mean, as long as it doesn't get astronomical.
I think that's terrible. It's bad enough as it is. There's too much money. You look like you're working just to pay for gas. And don't drive a long distance like I have to drive to D.C. sometimes. Oh, it's terrible. I'm putting in gas, seem like every other day.
The last time Maryland raised its gas tax was back in 1992. Well, Annapolis lawmakers are stunned about the recent sexual assault allegations at the Naval Academy. Reports of a gang rape have senators and congressmen up in arms, and they're demanding a fair and full investigation. Adding more fuel to the recent string of sex crimes plaguing the military, Senator Ben Cardin said, quote, "The number of episodes are unbelievably high," and says this type of conduct will not be tolerated in the U.S. military. President Obama called for action while addressing the graduates just last month. A survey conducted in 2012 by the Defense Department shows over 6% of females and just over 1% of males in the military experienced unwanted sexual contact.